pain and constriction in the heart and around the heart. Fluttering at the slightest excitement is also very important. Fluttering of the heart and slightest excitement is also very important. In case of the females, the after pains, if there is any complaints, we can think of these drugs. In case of hemorrhage with associated the flashings, hot flashings is very important. So on the basis of the hot flashings, we can think of these drugs. There is the climatic headache. So it is a very important medicine for the climatic headache. And flashes of heat is very important. With anxiety and palpitation is also there. So climatic headache, flashes of the heat, anxiety and palpitation. These are the very important symptoms of the anxiety and palpitation, flashes of heat, headache, climatic headache are very important. Fever, if we see the fever, much flashings of heat, sometimes followed by the cold and clammy sweat, profuse sweat, throbbing throughout the whole body. Fever, throbbing throughout the whole body, abnormal sweat after influenza. Any complaints after influenza, we might think of the carbophage pulsatilla like these drugs. Next number, abnormal sweat after influenza, constant stretching of the hours extremities, veins of the hands have become dilated, pulsations felt in tip of the fingers, relationship, compare glonine, lachesis are there, antidote to cactus and strychnine. For palliation in all conditions where the blood vessels are spasmodically contracted in angina pectoris. It is a good medicine for the cases of the angina pectoris. Epileptic seizure, migraine accompanied with the cold, pallor, etc. Also paroxysm of the asthma. In case of asthma, if there is any complication, we can think of the stop the asthmatic condition. We can think of these drugs. Chloroform asphyxia, inhalation of the Amyi-Nitrosum will give immediate relief. So it is a non-homeopathic application, 2 to 5 minutes, dropped on the handkerchief and inhale may be required. इसलिए इसके बारे में जब भी कोई हम देते हैं, हम इसके बारे में सोचते हैं, this is a very important medicine for the cases of these conditions. Next number, तो इसलिए जब भी कोई acute condition, acute disease है, चाहे heart attack हो, climatic condition हो, even other complications हैं, तो हम Amyi-Nitrosum के बारे में सोच सकते हैं. Even if we see the Amyi-Nitrosum is very important medicine for the cases of if we go in details. Now, suited to the nervous and plethoric persons, the smacking of the lips as if tasting something, flashings of the face on least emotions, and blushings, chronic or acute munching of the chewing movement of the lower lip, chronic or munching, हमेशा चबाने का एक आदत है, इसको munching बोलते हैं. Chewing movement of the lower jaws, collar seems too tight, desires to be loosen it, they cannot tolerate any tight bandaging or coverings. So there must be craves for the ear, is also another very important symptoms. Craving for ear, cannot endure warmth, must throw all of the coverings. ये लोग hot पसंद करते हैं, warmth भी पसंद नहीं करते, and open the doors and windows every time, even in the cold weather. They cannot tolerate any way the cold weather and closed room, windows, even in intense surging of the blood to the head and the face, intense surging of blood to the head and face, fluttering of the heart on least excitement, fluttering of the heart fluttering on the least excitement, easily excited. Angina pectoris, violent beating of the heart, angina pectoris, violent beating of heart, intense throbbing of heart and carotid, intense throbbing of heart and carotid, profound and repeated yawning, profound and repeated yawning, hiccup and yawning, hiccup and yawning, in fever, throbbing throughout the whole body, fever throbbing whole body, constant stretching of the hours is also very important symptoms of the constant stretching of the hours together. And desires is hard to satisfy, at long last would involve aid in getting him stressed. बहुत बार देखा गया इसको स्ट्रेचिंग कर देगा. Convulsions immediately after delivery, convulsions immediately after delivery. The mother, the remedy acts promptly when inhaled. After delivery कोई convulse में है तो the mother, tincture of the lower potency is a palliative of effects. The drug provides curative in higher potency and so on. Drug is also in higher potency and also so on. इसलिए अगर हम देखते हैं ये Amyi-Nitrosum, Amyi-Nitrosum is important medicine in that cases where there is this type of symptoms are present. It is effective in case of the very nervous, very sensitive, plethoric women during or after the menopause. It's very important medicine during the menopausal syndrome, during the climatic period. Nervous, sensitive, plethoric women during and after the menopause, often palliative in incurable cases, physical general pain, in which is the cause very important as regards to the euthanasia. Important as regards euthanasia. कोई जगह में circulation का problem है वहीं पे. The craves for the fresh air, open air, open clothing, they removes the bed cloth, bed covering, opens windows, and even in the coldest weather. Argenta niticum, lacrish, even the sulfur. They usually prefer the open air, open windows. These are the very important. Next number. So, if we see in general, the constant stretching for the hours, constant stretching, as if there is some lack of the oxygen or some other things. Impossible to satisfy the desires. Would seize the weight and call out for help to stage. Even कभी कभी इतना impossible to satisfy desire, stretching, इसके लिए seize the weight and calls for help to stage. There is also stretching का एक यह है, वो हमेशा stretching करने के बाद का है. Profound and repeated yawning, हमेशा yawning करते हैं. Pericardia है, ignitia है, फेराम है, yawning करने का. Profound and repeated yawning, seasickness or exhaustion. Seasickness is also very important in these drugs. Hemicrania, especially headache on one-sided, especially when the afflicted side is pallid, कोई particular area का pale हो गया. The face are very important. If there is any face, it becomes flaccid, slightest motion, okay. Flaccid and slightest motion is very important. Emotion में अगर कोई flaccid होते हैं तो coca and phenom is also important. Blushings, also chronic or acute, there is the blushings is chronic and acute is also there. Next number, color seems too tight, collar seems too tight, the throat becomes seems too tight, must loosen. Collar जो है हमेशा टाइट से आते हैं, एपीज, लैकेसीज, Amyi-Nitrosum, so on, and must loosen it, lackesis. Cardiovascular system is rapidly dilates the arteries and accelerate, but later weakness or detach the cause. Initial stage में usually dilate होते, later stage में constrict हो जाता. Intense surging of blood to the face and other head, belladonna, intense surging of blood to the head and head, belladonna, angina pectoris, tumultuous heart action, tumultuous, itching, intense throbbing of the heart and carotids. The glonan throbbing of carotids is very important. Glonan में भी है, intense throbbing of the carotids. Tumultuous heart action is very painful, and as if heart is to be seized. Puerperal convulsion immediately after delivery. So after delivery, अगर किसी को convulsion हो, puerperal convulsion, we can think of the Amyi-Nitrosum. There is the hot flushings, start from the face, stomach, various parts of the body, followed by sweating. Fever के साथ sweating है. Even often hot, profuse, abruptly limited. Parts becomes icy cold. Parts becomes icy cold. Followed by great prostration. इसलिए इनका होने के बाद great prostration is very important symptoms of the drugs. And second number, aggravation mental and physical exertions. Next number, similar to the belladonna, cactus, coca, phenom, glonan, and lackesis is also there. Acts promptly by inhalation, resuscitates persons sinking under anesthesia. Acts promptly by inhalation, resuscitates persons sinking under the anesthesia के बाद कोई side effect है, other कोई complication I think of the drugs. Crude drugs cheaply palliate, must be repeated on patient, becomes accustomed to it. It is curative in the stronger high potency also. Stronger and high potency. The cure more frequently depends upon the strength of the potency than many who have not put it to the curative test image. Kभी potency is also very important. So this medicine has some lots of importance in case of asthmatic attack, heart attack, climatic period, menopausal syndrome, after anesthesia any complication has been started, there is the unconsciousness, even different types of disease conditions. Hot flushes, that as if the surging of the blood to particular area, and unconsciousness also there. There is also very important noticeable thing is there. There is the difficulty in suffocations. They cannot get the breath in properly, and other complication also found it. Nausea, vomiting also there. Asthma condition, even high pressure, or sudden any acute condition can be checked by these drugs. So you must go through the Amyi-Nitrosum from different books, and there is so many tips are written. We can manage in acute crisis. ठीक है ना? So I request you must go through different books so that you can imagine, you can know knowledge. We are also tired in the after this session. Okay, thank you. दो drugs बोल दिए, adrenaline and Amyi-Nitrosum. Okay, bye. Thank you. Goodbye.